This is the 2nd of May, 1808. It was painted in 1814 by Francisco Goya. It depicts the bloody battle between the citizens of Madrid and the French soldiers. And it was painted with oil on canvas, oil paint, and it uses very smooth, realistic lines. It's very realistic. The color is not very bright, but it's very lively, and it creates this tragic but romantic scene. The actual painting is 9 by 11 feet, and it's very cluttered and chaotic. And it's the rebellion of oppressed Spain. Goya has a very good reputation. He became ill and became deaf in 1792, but he still went on, became the first court painter in 1799. He became the head of the Art Academy, and he really liked the fame and popularity of it. And after the war broke out in 1808, he began creating war sketches, and he was very popular for those. And like I said, the French invaded Spain in 1808, and Turkish mercenaries were trying to remove a child from the palace in Madrid for the French army. And when this happened, riots broke out in Madrid. There were people in the streets, and the Turkish soldiers were ordered to stop the riots, and they went in and tried to get the citizens to flee, and instead they turned around and fought. And they fought with anything they had. They were carrying knives and stuff like that. And this is the scene that he's catching in the 2nd of May, 1808. There's another picture, this painting down here, that is the 3rd of May, 1808, that goes along with this painting, and that was the next morning when they were executing the citizens who were rebelling. Like I said, it was commissioned in 1814 to commemorate these fights, and it shows Spanish citizens fighting the invaders. It's just very chaotic. They're in this street battle, and they're attacking with anything they have. They've got knives, just very crude weapons. And in the center of all of this, there's one soldier, and he's wearing red pants being pulled from a white horse, and there's a man getting ready to stab him with a knife. And then there's another man charging forward and stabbing his white horse with a dagger. And this just stands out in front of everything else. Everything else just kind of melts together. It's very chaotic, but this is standing out in front of the rest of all of the people and everything else, and this just, it's like there isn't a center of this painting, but that seems like the most important part of it. And I feel like it symbolizes a country that's been attacked so many times that they're fighting the oppression. Goya's pieces were usually very pleasant pieces. They were very bright. This is actually one of his pieces that was submitted in the 1760s, and it's very bright. It shows people having a picnic, and it's very positive compared to his post-war paintings. After the war broke out, he began the Disasters of War series, which was a bunch of etchings that he created, and this is one of them. There were dozens of them, and they were just telling the stories of the war that began in 1808, and this is what earned him the reputation and the title of being the first war reporter. Critics will often say that the 2nd of May, 1808 is very flat and it's very unanimated, and that it seems like people are just posing for a picture. This is usually the biggest thing they have to say about this. And also its sister painting that I was showing you down here, the May 3rd of 1808, really overshadows this because it was a much more popular piece. And most people can recognize May 3rd, 1808, and May 2nd, they won't even know May 2nd, 1808 exists. When the Spanish Civil War broke out in the 30s, they were trying to get all of these art pieces out of Madrid, and in 1938, the 2nd of May was moved from Madrid to Geneva, Switzerland. And this is the only time anybody knows of that this painting has left Madrid. But as the truck was driving, it was in an accident, and the painting was badly damaged in the lower left corner, and the canvas was ripped, and there were even pieces of the painting missing. And it's been restored 2 times, and the damage is still really evident. And they say that it represents another conflict in another dark time in Spanish history, and it represents the Spanish Civil War. So Goya just captured a very chaotic scene, just as it transitioned from riots into a bloody street battle, and I feel like it just represents Spain revolting against the oppression and finally trying to earn their own freedom.